Alright guys, we have the new Imagine Round battle for the Choso, so let me show you how to get off the reward from SP battle. First thing, there's also a team battle. I'm on the Southeast Asia server and I'm still looking for teammates, so if you're interested then just send me a message on Discord. I'll leave the link in the comment section if you do want to reach out. The other thing is there's also a secret title. This requires a recollection which is called Brotherly Bond. That's basically the one from Esso and Kachizu battle in the past. I'll show you in a bit as well, just so you know what recollection this is. All you need to do is bring that recollection into the team, okay? Now, moving on to the SP battle itself, in terms of debuff you want to choose, basically the only one you want to avoid is going to be this max HP, okay? Avoid that one. And then for the damage taken decrease, you only need to pick level 1 for this one. And that's because you can get 2 extra points from this ultimate count increase instead. Now you definitely don't want the level 3 for this because it will remove debuff and make it a lot harder for you to nuke, which you will see in bit. I'll meant to do it in just 4 turns. So that's kind of why you only want the level 2 for this one. And then as a result, to make sure you still add up to 24 points, you need the level 1 for damage taken decrease, okay? Now, in terms of the team itself, this is basically the team, but before doing that, let me show you. This is basically the recollection you need, Brotherly Bond, in order to get a secret title, okay? So just bring that onto the team and you'll be fine. Now, for the SP battle, Strat is quite simple. Basically, you just have all buffers and then one nuker. In this case, it's going to be Nobara. My Nobara is highly maxed out at Dupe 5 and also I do have ultimate skill at level 10 as well, okay? And my potential is also unlocked, especially this one. I don't have the skill 3 potential unlocked, but I do have the ultimate skill SP unlocked. And I do recommend that as well because especially if Nobara is your best DPS, you kind of need her. Now, if yours are not as buffed up as mine, you can probably still get away with it, but you may not be able to finish in 4 turns. You might need to nuke on turn 4 and then finish off on turn 5 with a skill 3, okay? But it should still be doable in theory. Now, if you don't want to use Nobara, obviously you can also swap this to Team Gojo. But if you're using Team Gojo, you need to change up the debuff early on because one of the debuff restrictions you can't bring Gojo. So if you do need to switch up, then you basically need to use Team Gojo instead, and also increase the debuff elsewhere, which basically makes the enemy a bit tankier, but Team Gojo also hit a lot harder than Nobara, so you should still be fine as well. And likewise, I am using the SR version of Yaga. If you do have the SSR version of Yaga, obviously that's going to be much better. And if you do have Domain Megami as well, that's going to be very good here as well. But I'm just going to show you guys, you can definitely beat this with this very free-to-play team, well, just full support with 1 DPS. Now, in terms of the support character, basically the strat is that you want enemy to die on turn 2, and that's because his buff lasts for 4 turns, and you'll be nuking on turn 4, so even if he dies, you're still getting a bit of support here. Now, in order to make sure he dies, you have this taunt recollection, okay? So that's why I have this one here. And then once he dies, Momo will be coming onto the field. Momo has a buff which also lasts for just 2 turns, which basically makes it perfect because I'm already able to max out her passive support just by in those 2 turns which she will be coming on. Now, in terms of the other recollections, you basically want to increase the curse energy for your Gakuganji and Yaga to make sure that they are actually able to use their buff skill every single turn. So that's kind of why I have this one, which you need to be at least 3 dupe in order to unlock this passive to increase 20 curse energy. And I also have Mutual Trust, which increases 10 curse energy to everyone. And that's how I'm able to get everyone to use their support skill every single turn. This plus Mutual Trust, you will also be activating them together on turn 3. You want to make sure you actually survive the AoE attack on turn 3 as well. Now, there is going to be a tiny bit of RNG involved in the strat, which is that the enemy will be doing 2 single target attack, which you can't control for. The other single target attack will be taunted by an enemy, so it doesn't matter. But for those 2 single target attack, you need at least one of them to hit Nobara, and both of them cannot hit Gakuganji, okay? Probability-wise, it's actually quite high, because basically out of the 4 characters, as long as they avoid Gakuganji, you have a pretty high chance of actually executing it. But yeah, one of them do need to land on Nobara in order to make sure her ult actually charge up in time. But other than that, this is pretty much it. Like I said, you should be able to actually finish off the battle on turn 4 if your Nobara is highly invested like mine, with all of the skills and potential unlock, etc. If they are not, you can try to go for crit. That may be enough. Otherwise, just drag the battle onto turn 5 and finish off the enemy with a skill 3.
誘ってるな。いいだろう。参る。手早く済ませましょう。最善の一。
行くわよ。 ここが踏ん張りどころです。
授業を始めよう。
かかってこいや。
暗い血人。
いまいましこれは
気持ち悪い。
ここが踏ん張りどこ
では
ろです。
教育の時間だ。血人血人。
可愛くないやつばっかりね。
いまいましい。
舐められるのはごめんだしね。
気持ち悪い。
みんな頑張って。
では教育の時間だ。
そら
白蓮殺す。
いまいまし
変な
準備万端。こっからよ。
ぶっ飛ばしちゃって。
授業を始めよう。
暗い。
行くわよ。数霊呪法かんざし。